everybody? Welcome to another vlog. Today is Thursday, September 21st, and I'm working from home. We haven't sat down and just had a good chat in a while, so I figured I'd take you through my working day today and answer some of the questions that you all submitted on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely should. I think that's my main form of communication with you all, where I announce new videos, where I'm able to ask you all questions or get questions from you for Q&A type videos. The first question is, do you plan on settling down in Seattle? If any of you are new here, I moved to Seattle over 4 years ago now. I moved here straight out of college to start my first full-time job, and I've kind of been here ever since. And this question came at a really good time because I'm at a crossroads. I am either thinking about saving up money to put a down payment on a house in the next year or two in Seattle, which would mean I would definitely be staying in Seattle for quite some time. Or I've also been thinking about moving somewhere else, maybe like New York City at the end of next year. When I graduated college, I always thought I would live in a bunch of different cities, and I ended up staying in Seattle a lot longer than I anticipated because I realized that it's not really the city that changes things for me, but it's the people that you have there. And now that I've made friends in Seattle, I don't really have an incentive to leave. At the same time, I've been feeling like I'm ready for a change, and New York looks like a lot of fun. I'm really drawn to New York's art scene. I kind of want to live the hustle life for a few years. If you don't live in Seattle, Seattle is a great blend, I think, of like little neighborhoods with houses and then apartment living in the more dense areas of Seattle. So you can still be in Seattle within walking distance to a coffee shop, but live in a area that kind of looks like a suburban neighborhood. And I really like that middle ground. I haven't looked into details on how much a little house is, but that would be such a dream to have just a little like 2-bedroom house with a tiny little yard within walking distance to a coffee shop. So I could either go that route or I can go the other route and move across the country and try a different city. I think I'm leaning towards moving to a different city because I think that would really help me answer whether I want to settle down in Seattle based on how much more or less I like this other city, and it would just give me more confidence in choosing Seattle than if I just stayed here and didn't try something else. How do you take care of your mental health? This is a great question, has been a really relevant topic lately because I have been going through slump after slump after slump, and things that are really good for my mental health are 1, journaling. 2, getting out of my apartment has been really helpful. It makes the world seem bigger. If possible, traveling has been amazing. It really gets me excited about life again. 4, spending time with people that I enjoy seeing. I'm really motivated by showing up for people, having stories to tell people. So when I am spending a lot of time with people, it motivates me to do better in other areas of my life. And finally, I have also started therapy recently. It's known that your 20s are a particularly confusing time, and I am not immune to that. I have been struggling with that confusion for a very long time of what I want to do with my life, how to feel fulfilled, and how to navigate adulthood. And that is not an easy task. And I think for a long time I thought I could figure it out on my own, but I eventually decided to start therapy because I was feeling really stressed and confused a lot of the time, and it has been really helpful. On that note, I wanted to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist so much easier because finding a therapist can be extremely difficult, especially when you're restricted to therapists within your local area. BetterHelp is remote, and just by filling out a few questions, you can be matched with a therapist within a few days. BetterHelp also understands that finding a therapist is a little bit like dating, so they make it super easy to be able to switch to a different therapist without having to stress about insurance, who's in your local network, or anything like that. I have personally tried BetterHelp, found the convenience so helpful in getting me to therapy. Like I mentioned earlier, an example of something that you can work through at therapy is getting a little bit of life coaching and having someone help you process the confusing feelings that one goes through in their 20s. BetterHelp has given me a discount code to share with you all in the description box below, so go ahead and use that and you get 10% off your first month. If you're interested, definitely go check out BetterHelp. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. What are your career goals? It took me a long time to develop career goals, so if you don't feel like you have any career goals, no panic. It took me like maybe 3 years until I got an idea of what I wanted to work towards. So currently I'm working in manufacturing engineering. My background is in mechanical engineering. I work at Microsoft, so I'm in the tech industry, and I've learned a little bit about myself and what I like to do for work in the time that I've been here. Specifically that I'm a creative person. I like to be able to use my creative skills. I'm more of a visionary person than a detail-orientated person. I can be detail-orientated, I've kind of had to be in this current role, but my strengths really come to play when it comes to developing visions and ideas. So with those two pieces of information, I've been thinking that the next role I want to try is something in product management at a more creative tech company, something like Spotify, Pinterest, YouTube, Notion. I recognize that working at these companies is probably going to still feel pretty monotonous, but I'm thinking I'll be surrounded by more creative people and people who love the product that we would be working on. So that's my thought process right now. That probably changes like every other week. A couple months ago it was to switch into UX design, but I think that's just something I like to learn on the side and not something I'm going to pursue as a full-time career. I have a little bit of an ego block moving into product management because I think I tied a part of my identity to being a woman in engineering and wanted to improve the statistics of women in engineering, and leaving engineering and going to product management hurts my ego a little bit. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, these titles don't really matter. I enjoy problem solving, I enjoy leading teams, I enjoy making my visions come true, and I think the product management role would fit me well. But we'll see. Nothing is set in stone. In my current role, I've started to work on some projects where I'm in a product management role, so I'm kind of testing it out and seeing how it goes. Hi everybody, thanks for joining the call today. Otherwise, I'll wrap up today's meeting. It is time for lunch, so I'm gonna take another question. How do you stay motivated? Short answer, I don't. I really struggle with motivation sometimes. I think it helped when I learned about the woman's menstrual cycle and about how my hormones work and how my energy levels change throughout every cycle and throughout the month. So that helped me just be prepared for the lack of motivation that comes around the week before and the week during my period. But to me, motivation just means being excited about things. And I love being excited about things. I think being excited is one of my favorite feelings. And one of the ways that has worked for me in getting excited about things is, one, journaling, because that helps me learn and become aware of what I want. And two, consuming content consciously and slowly. So instead of like scrolling on social media endlessly, reading a magazine, reading a book, really digesting the content, taking time to annotate what I'm reading and think about what I've read. That for me is a great place to find inspiration and motivation. I've also learned over time what gets me excited. So for work, I might not necessarily be excited about, hopping on online calls and corresponding with emails, but I do get excited about stationery and taking notes. So I make an active effort to take a lot of handwritten notes at work and invest in good stationery to keep myself organized. I'm gonna take you to the bathroom for the next question, because the next question is, what is your skincare routine? I am not a skincare expert by any means. I think I am pretty genetically blessed with my skin. There are definitely times where I break out and for a couple of weeks my skin would just be horrid. But I try to keep my skincare routine simple and drink water, and I think it is more so honestly what you eat and put inside your body than what you put on top of your skin. What I do use though is I wash my face with the Laneige Cream Skin Milk Oil Cleanser. I honestly only do this if I have makeup on my face. Otherwise, I just wash my face with water. If I have really stubborn makeup on, I'll use the Clean Skin Club wipes. I'll usually go in with the La Mer Treatment Lotion. And I know this product is extremely expensive. It was a gift from my amazing mother. So thank you, Mom, for this. If it's during the day, I'll go in with the La Mer moisturizing cream. It feels really nice, it feels really luxurious. During the day, I'll put on Beat the Sun Crave Beauty sunscreen. At night, I'll put on the Laneige water sleeping mask as my moisturizer instead. And honestly, I wear this every night. It's supposed to be a mask that you only use once in a while, but unless I'm unaware of something, I don't really see the harm in using it every day. Can't forget about lip skincare. Laneige lip sleeping mask. I'll put this on before bed as well to keep my lips moisturized. What does travel do for you? I love traveling because it makes my world feel a lot bigger, and in turn makes my problems feel so much smaller. Because I work from home a good amount and I spend a lot of time at home, sometimes it starts to feel like my world starts to shrink, and then that makes my problems feel like they start to grow. Getting out of my apartment, getting out and seeing the world is really important for me and my mental health and being a better person, because it makes me realize I'm such a small piece to this big puzzle. A lot of time I also get inspired when I travel because I get to see how people are living lives differently or doing things differently. It also just makes me feel alive. I think when you're a kid, everything feels really new, like you're seeing a lot of new things, experiencing a lot of new things for the first time, and you kind of get dulled out over time because you aren't seeing as many new things anymore as an adult. And so I think traveling is a good way to bring out that inner child because you're in a completely new environment, and that is a very special kind of joy to feel. When will your next coffee pop-up be? I've been really into turning my apartment into a coffee shop. I think this is a trend on TikTok right now. I've seen a few other people do it as well. It's kind of like the new dinner party. So instead of hosting a dinner party, turn your apartment into a coffee shop, make coffee and breakfast items for your friends. I actually do have a dream of opening up a art studio / cafe sometime in the future. I don't know if that will actually happen, but I kind of get to channel that dream through these little coffee pop-ups. And eventually, I do hope one day to be able to actually open it to the public with my friend that I do these coffee pop-ups with. So we hope to be able to rent a space and open up the coffee pop-up to the public, and you all will be the first to know. So that is something that's been really fun to work on. But to answer your question, I actually don't know when the next one will be. I think we had the last one a couple weeks ago, and this next month or two is just really busy for me and my other friend who I do this coffee pop-up with. So it might be another month or two, but we're kind of working behind the scenes to do a lot of branding work, recipe exploration, and kind of figuring out how to position ourselves within the city of Seattle. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun to work on. Definitely stay tuned, and there will be more to come. What have you been really into lately? I made a little list for this. I have been really into traveling. I fell into a really deep slump in August, and traveling kind of got me out of it. Wasn't expecting it to, but it really renewed my excitement for life. So I have been really into that lately. I've been really into beauty, which is a latest obsession. I've been really into doing my nails myself. I got my eyelashes lifted a few weeks back, and I've been loving waking up with curled eyelashes. I love getting my hair cut. I got a haircut recently. I just love having someone else wash my hair. So I've been really into beauty treatments. Also really into not people pleasing, working on this. I think people pleasing sometimes gets misrepresented as something that is extremely selfless, and I don't feel like it's a selfless thing to do. I think people pleasing comes from a place of fear, and a lot of the times it causes me to be dishonest with people. People pleasing is so natural to me at this point that I don't recognize it in the moment, and it takes me some time to reflect and realize after the fact. And when I do realize it, I've been making an intention to clarify my actual feelings with friends by following up via text or a phone call or something like that. Much easier said than done. Eventually I want to get to a point where I'm not instinctively people pleasing. I've been really into journaling in the artist way. I've been trying to work my way through the artist way very, very slowly. Been really into fantasy books. I've been reading the ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I actually just finished that. I read Fourth Wing. The new book, Iron Flame, is coming out so soon. I'm so excited for that. I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel to The Hunger Games. I just started the Throne of Glass series. Fantasy books make me so excited about life. The world building is so cool. It opens up my imagination, and I just get really excited to go to bed. So it makes my night routine a lot more enjoyable because I usually read right before bed. I've also really been into magazines. I'm definitely addicted to social media, and I think the best way to kick an addiction is to replace it with something else. And magazines have been a great replacement to scrolling on my phone. So whenever I'm feeling like I want to take a break from work and I just want to consume some content, I will pull up one of the magazines that I got, which let me show you what I've got recently. I showed these in a previous vlog. They're documentary style magazines. This one really dives into the brand of Arabica. It's like a brand study, and this one dives into the culture of coffee. I recently also got this magazine, Filmmaker. It's a series of articles, mostly written by critics. Some of them are interviewing the writer or director on movies, films, and I love reading film analyses. My favorite in this magazine so far has been the interview with Dustin Guy Defa, hopefully I'm saying his last name right, about his film, The Adults. His film is largely about the disappointment of adulthood and something that is very relatable in the moment. So, great article, great magazine. This isn't really a magazine, it's more of a zine, but I also love zines. I got this one, Trailer Blaze, and it's just It's a zine. It was worked on by multiple artists, and it's really cool to flip through, read, and get inspired from. Rapid fire of a few more things. I've been really into loose, baggy tops, like free people, off the shoulder kind of tops. This Lonely Ghost sweater, the quality is just so good. The hood material is so thick, and I think that just makes it feel so luxurious. I've been really into stacking jewelry. Not wearing a lot right now because I'm working from home, but that's just been a great way to elevate an outfit, and I want to grow my jewelry collection in the near future. So I've been looking for some investment pieces. I'm so tired. I just had a meeting that drained the life out of me. I feel like I can't sit in this chair any longer. Let's answer another question. I'm wrapping up the workday, and the last question is, what are your plans for YouTube? This question came at a perfect time because this is actually going to be my last video for a little bit. I'm gonna go on a short hiatus. I'm still gonna be active on Instagram, so you should definitely follow me there and stay tuned for announcements because I will be working on something during this time period. I wanted to spend the time to work on a project to release on YouTube. I wanted to spend some time formally writing out a script and storyboard and properly film videos where I get to actually leverage my full creativity, and it's going to take a lot more time, and I want to release like a season of videos, so releasing either a batch of videos all at once or prepare all these videos and then release them on a weekly cadence once they're all ready. I've been wanting to do this since last winter when I took that filmmaking class. I learned a lot of skills that I want to be able to put to use, and I've been putting it off because the timing just wasn't right, and I also had some sponsorships that I wanted to work on. This would be probably my last video for a little bit while I go off and find inspiration, find things to write about, and put together those videos for you all, and I'm really excited about it. I hope it works out. There's really no guarantee that it works out, so I might just be coming back with a vlog in a few months if it doesn't work out, but I figured I'd give it a shot. If you have any requests on specific videos on what you want to see, let me know. DM me on Instagram. I'm always open to suggestions. That being said, thank you to everyone that has been watching my videos. Some of you have been watching my videos since day one, and I can't thank you enough for that. Not sure what the future really looks like just yet, but I just know I'm ready for a change and I want to try something different. Thank you all for watching this video and coming along with me for another work from home day. Let me know in the comments below if you have any your own answers or input to any of the questions in this video. I would love to hear your take as well. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe to stay tuned, and I hope you all have a great day. Love you!